while waiting for you to join. How was
Thank
your
you.
day?
Fine, thank you. Thank you. It's nice to be here.
Thank you so much. I'm glad to have you. Okay, we'll kickstart immediately. We are hoping that other people join us. MTN has been funny with the network these days, so let's catch it before they will strike again.
Yeah.
So like I said, today it's a special episode because we have someone in the house who has gone through prostate cancer, and he is living, striving, working, like still going to work as an associate professor. Um, this is Flourishing Flora. My name is Flourishing Flora, and this is I've Got Cancer. So what? It's just a platform where cancer warriors, survivors, and caregivers come together to share, to break all the stigmas around being a cancer survivor, a cancer warrior. We just want to breathe. We just want to live. And the fact that we are going through something in life and still there's just stigma out there. We just want to fight the stigma and be like every other person. And that's why we started the I've Got Cancer, so what? And this is part of our Flourish Cancer Wellbeing initiative, which I started based on my own experience. And being a psychologist, I understood what happened in my mind when I had cancer, and then I was just using that information and some of the things I learned through my journey and still going on to help other people, warriors, to think through with their mind, especially when it comes to cancer. And like I said, today we have someone in the house who had a very beautiful story to share with us, to encourage us, especially when we ask to do with our belief. That's why the topics today is called My Belief and the Doctor's Word. Yes, the doctor might say so much to us. Oh, you will not work again. Oh, no, this is this is that. But what are you saying to yourself? And what he actually said to himself helped him to go through this cancer journey. And it's been amazing. And before I share about a little bit about Dr. Ronald, I'm going to like ask everyone to stay still. Please put yourself on mute. You can turn off your camera if you want to, just so that we capture the doctor who is going to be speaking with us. And you can also join our campaigns, volunteer to be part of what we are doing. We are looking around all the 8 components of well-being, challenges with walking, doing exercises, praying, whatever it is. We want to incorporate that towards living a healthy and happy and flourishing life despite cancer. The all the What we are preaching is live, breathe, experience life even with cancer. There is no need to hide, and there is no need to also feel the whole gloomy, because the fear takes away the happiness. Okay, so a little bit about our guest today. He is an associate professor and a cancer survivor, and he's a seasoned scholar and university done booming career spanning over 25 years across top-rated universities in Nigeria. Imagine how cancer decided to come and take away our, but he no succeed. Our associate professor. He also holds membership and fellowship with several professional bodies and learned society. He's currently an associate professor in the Department of Medical Laboratory Sciences, Bowen University, War, and happily married with children. Despite his medical background, he faced a challenging 2-year battle with prostate cancer without his knowledge. He's going to tell us about without his knowledge, because for his case, he didn't know there's anything like that. He just lived his life without knowing that cancer has already crept in. His unique perspective and personal experience brings valuable insight into the world of cancer survival. Everyone will help me to welcome Dr. Ronald Bejide. Welcome, Doctor. How are you today?
Thank you so much. Happy to be here. It is most exciting to be here, and then I think it's worthwhile. I need to appreciate the founder of this initiative for this type of program. Um, Getting up this type of program, I know because information too is healing. And then,
Yes.
and through this medium, with my experience, I can categorically tell you that if I told you are diagnosed cancer, it doesn't mean a death sentence.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yes.
then, to me, as God has done it, it has reduced it to just like we have malaria. If we maybe alleviate people's problem from maybe fear about cancer and looking at malaria. Malaria is even deadlier than cancer
These days.
itself. Yeah,
Yes.
because malaria can go to any level once it's entered into cerebral malaria. It can render you useless, and then death might be the end of it all. But with we start with fact that there is a cross link between our faith, spiritual life, and science itself.
Yes.
Science is also a revelation from God in order to make life easy for the human race generally. So one must be able to strike a balance between the two. There is doctors' positions through the instrument of science revealing and making known to us what to call diseases in different categories. And your faith too stands, which is highly an area of your spirit to connect with your creator and then with your being. I think that's the most powerful instrument. From there, science itself evolves. The
Yes.
science we
Yes.
see that become empirical evolve first in the spiritual realm. So it is an outward, it's the science trying to prove what is real, what is in the abstract, in the spiritual world physically. But at times, if my spirit go beyond the physical expression or empirical things that we dwell upon, my life
Yeah. Thank
is a very wonderful one because I encounter this, and then during this period of my encounter, though I equally work into research of cancer prevention. I dwell more on cancer prevention in the women with cervical cancer. That was the area of my research for a long time. And then surprisingly, I never knew I was living with the cancer that affect the reproductive system of the man himself, which is the prostate, one of the reproductive organs of male. And then the episode actually started by the classical point, maybe classical sign and symptoms that we associate with prostate cancer. I never experienced that. And then my age brackets at that time was not really making us to go through it. And then even occasionally, I think yearly, I go for my PSA test. And then all those things were not revealing anything to think that I'm having prostate cancer. And then what we were treating for almost 2.5 years was spondylosis. We were doing physiotherapy, pain in the bones and everything. And then the only thing that prompted me to say that, okay, we need to go and do further investigation was sudden weight loss that came.
Yeah.
It's at that point that we know that, okay, we need to go for MRI. So, in fact, at the MRI, we only went for the spine study, not even anything related to the prostate. So, it's at the spine study that we discovered that some angry looking cell has metastasized down to the bone,
Hmm.
and then we have to query bladder or prostate. It's at that point that we have to narrow down the investigation now on bladder and prostate. And then the next thing we go for was biopsy. And at the biopsy, in fact, by the time the results came out, it has gone beyond all the stages because we normally grade the stages in cancer with In terms of figure, we have the glycine grading, and then maybe from 1 to 2, 2 to 3, 3 to 4, and then 4 to 5. This one has gone to the last stage, glycine 4 plus 5.
Wow.
Statistically, from statistics, it's like at that stage, it's only that science will not say that almost everybody at that stage we die precisely. So it's like in the rating, they said that maybe 0.1 out of a
Chances.
million at that stage will survive. At that stage, when that result came, within me, what strikes me was that the fear was not there at all. I just believe that, well, um, my faith quickly ran down me that that's what my case will be different. And then I believe my case will be different. And then another thing that could be very worrisome is that you even having this knowledge about the in depth of what we are getting can be very, very worrisome at times. But when my case came, I was very strong, and I believe my case is different. And then even my colleagues, maybe he's now a professor too, um, told me, Ronald, yes, I share your faith, but these are realities. And then he was telling me probably if there is anything I have in terms of my will, if
You
I've
should
not
write
done
your
that,
will.
I should do it. When he said that, I told him right there, I said, my case is different. Don't worry. God is going to do something. He said, yes, I share your faith. It's from that diagnosis that we now have to go ahead to see how far we can go. One thing is that we share the faith, and then there you fulfill. We have to fulfill all righteousness. I didn't stay at the fact that my faith will heal me. The available resources, the available regulations that is available scientifically was explored. So I believe that the science that we use too is a revelation from spiritual realm.
Yes.
So I didn't neglect it, and that is one of the things that I do. We explore the science, how science could go, then supporting those things to be administered faithfully with faith. So even in the practice of our faith, right from the knowledge we have from the Bible, when Christ was performing healing, you are healed according to our faith. At a point when that blind man was to be healed, he was asked to rub the soil, the heart, on his face, and then wash it off, and then the healing of blindness came. Christ can say that the eye should be open and it will open, but there are things that are empirical that carries your faith along. So I
Yes.
was there that me exploring the line of science, scientific approach, backing it up with my social belief, I'm going to get results. So then we started through all the procedures, funds were coming in, and then we have to sell some things to get some things done. Thank God that I have a supportive wife. I think each time during the journey, when things were done completely, at the point in time, it's like I've lost my way completely. I was out of my weight. I couldn't walk. I couldn't eat. And then I was taking different type of super analgesics, tramadol, morphine, all sort of, and I'm not eating. My fear again was that taking all those analgesics without eating, there could be a secondary damage that could come.
Yes.
That was one of those line of actions that I just think that what will happen. So, but each time I look at the face of my wife, when we make eye contact, I can see her radiating positively. Many people will just see you and say, it's like they've given up. Even in the hospital where I was admitted initially, I was under the what do you call the demarcates with a curtain, and people would just People will just come and then say, ah, he's still breathing.
Hmm.
Within me, I would just laugh. Though
Wow.
looking at me down there is like, wow, will this guy survive? But within me, I said, I will just tell God, I know you can heal me. In fact, in the point that all things were down, when people see me, they said, I still laugh. My wife said, each time you look at my face, I still laugh.
Hmm.
So she was very confident. So the support from my wife too, I think is very, 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 uh, very, very critical too. Then above it all, God was just at the center of everything. So whatever where we go, whatever we do on that, let God be at the center. And then because He's the healer, the medical support will come, and then all those things, God bless them to make them work for us. That is the cross link between the science and my belief approach to healing. Um,
Thank you so much for sharing.
and what can I say again? We thank God that there's another thing I want to mention here too. As at
Yeah,
that
go ahead.
time, the linear accelerator machine for radiotherapy, we searched, myself and my wife, we searched for where the best one could be because this is my own field. So I know that if you are going to access radiotherapy, the latest type of machine, because we've had some in the past that are not truly guided. Chemotherapy is out of it. And then as the advanced come, we discovered that, okay, for us to access the latest one, in fact, in the US, where we make a attempt to go, just for us to register, they were saying $22,000, $23,000, not including charges for treatment. We were just on it. Well, let's see how God will answer this. We were in Sweden Medical Center, Ghana. And it's at that point that we even got an information that we have a place with that latest machine around us here in Nigeria. That's at the Mesa Road in Ikoyi. And then we went there. One amazing thing that happens during my course of treatment, 6 weeks course of treatment, Monday to Friday, uh, was that as I'm receiving the radiotherapy, instead of me getting wasting away or probably losing my strength, my appetite started recovering back every day. At every day of the dose as it comes, my appetite was increasing. And as at the
Hmm.
time I'm going to finish, energy started coming back. And wow, the above it all, we have to go for maybe about 6 months after when I went back for a tumor marker that shows the progression of the cancer. We discovered that it has gone down to zero completely. And then
Wow.
my PSA has reduced down to zero. This was above 2,000 before. At a point, the reading was like it's not coming down, but we are at a point it come down to zero, zero point 0.1, 0.9, and then up to now, uh, I can drive. After the treatment, I've driven left and right of Nigeria. I drove. I love driving. This is something that the sickness wants to take away from me initially. But I can tell you, I can confess to you, it's a great testimony before God and His grace. I can drive through left and right of Nigeria. I can drive 8 hours, 10 hours, non-stopping. And then my
Congratulations.
wife, the relief came down on my wife. Now I can stay, I can do a lot of things on my own, and she can be able to face some of her job. Um, well, we thank God for this testimony. We
Yes.
thank God for a lot of advancement in the area of cancer and treatment. But at the midst of that is God.
Yes.
Wherever we are going, whatever we're doing on earth, we should journey with God. We should walk under the glory, the cloud of glory, because when we journey with God, if we remember what happened to the Israelites, even in the wilderness, the impossible things happens. Water come out of the rock is like an impossible thing, but it happens. So our journey in life is most importantly that we must We must journey with God. We should not live a life without God. Because when we move under the divine presence of God, and impossible things will always be our testimony. And this, I think, that's the core. That is my story.
Thank you
Science is
so
there, very good.
Go ahead, sir. Okay, I think we lost Ronald, Dr. Ronald. Hopefully he will join us again. Uh, this is so amazing, mind blowing. Um, I don't even know if I should call his own stage 4 now, because when he say 4 to 5, is there a a fifth stage that we don't know about? And if that could, from 2,000 points to come join, turn to 0 points, that's amazing. And it's all boils down to, yes, he's talking about God, but there's also the human part, which is your mind. When people laugh at him to say, oh, you might not live, but he says, I'm going to live, and with smile on his face, he's fighting through. And that's why we are coming together every time to say, yes, you have cancer, but then what are you doing with it? Are you just lying down waiting for cancer to come take you? Are you clamoring, crying, without just hoping that there's a healing coming somewhere, and you're doing your own bid to be able to live? So we've heard so much about Dr. Ronald, and it's amazing how we connected. I think that was at Marcel Luther as well, when I was just diagnosed and I've not even started treatment, and I attended an information section that was organized by Marcel Luther, and there I shared about how happily I'm taking my cancer journey. And I remember calling it a birthday gift of cancer at the time, and I was helping everybody to see laughter in my face. And that was when doctor shared his own about how doctor said at the time that he wouldn't walk again, he wouldn't drive, do all that, but he is standing. In fact, he drove himself from Babcock, I think at the time, or Bowen, to come to Marcel Root at the then. I'm so grateful with the whole process and the journey. Please, if you're still joining us, if you're just joining us, we are talking about our belief and what the doctor said to us. What are you believing? Are you believing in yourself? Are you believing in what God says? And not just what the doctor tells you. And this is a story coming from the last stage of cancer to getting a 0 point. That's amazing. That's the power of the mind to heal, and also believing in God. So if you have any question, I see like 2 people are raising their hands. We'll mute you to ask questions, but please be brief as much as possible. Just 30 seconds with your question, and the doctor will be here to answer. The most important is that we are sharing knowledge and also sharing experience amongst ourselves. Miss Neka, please, can you unmute yourself and share? Hello, Neka, are you with us? Okay.
He's on mute.
Hello, I'm here.
No, there is Neka who wants to ask
Okay,
question, and then
okay.
there is Okorie Victory. Victory, can you ask your question if you can unmute yourself, or
Unmute yourself. Yeah.
if you can share in the chat as well?
Yes, I can unmute myself.
Okay,
Okay.
please go ahead and ask your question on contributes. Thank
Okay.
you.
Okay, my name is Victor, as is written, and there are two questions I want to ask. One is for locally advanced non-small cancer cell that has taken um, chemotherapy and is currently looking at Avastin and Elotine. What would you, of which the Elotine is at a stable point, what would you say? Do you have any advice to give me as to how to go about it? Then the second one is um, how do you deal with how do you deal with the negative thoughts that comes into your mind? I need like literally practical ways, because in as much as you're trying to sieve out, see what is happening around you. I mean, friends you make in cancer centers and all that, like seeing all those things that happen, like you see some people are not around and all that. So what are you going to, what, how do you build your faith? How do you build your faith deeply? Like how do you become so certain that no matter what, God is with you and not, and you will not die, especially when they're giving you a particular timeline, being that it's stable and it's long cancer. Thank you.
Okay, please, your first question, I didn't get it right. Are you on chemotherapy or what do you say?
I have finished chemo. Okay, so I did 6 rounds of carbolactin, and I did another round of first 4 rounds of carbolactin, and then I did premextez. I don't think I pronounced it well. Premextez 6 rounds, of which the 6 rounds actually was able to regress a little bit. But we came to Avastin and Elotinin, of which I was EGFR negative, and the Avastin and Elotinin only stable the tumor that was left. So right now, I'm trying to figure out if there is any other way possible for lung, small, non-small lung cancer to,
One
like,
small cell
absorb.
carcinoma.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah,
Any other option available for me? Because they said they cannot do surgery, neither can they do radiotherapy.
yeah. There is indices of you getting a successful outcome from the treatment you have been exposed to already. Because usually the cancer cell, they go on the maybe if they show any sign of retarding from proliferation, then you are getting a very good result. So we just have to be managing with present one that have given you a result, a positive result, just like you said. And it's not something that will go just maybe like you use paracetamol for headache. But for you to get is maybe a positive result. That is the prognosis is very very positive. You can have it. So I believe that you just have to follow the regimen given to you religiously. So above
Okay,
that
so a
all,
stable, sorry, sir, a stable tumor is a good prognosis.
yeah, once it's regressing, once you see sign of it regressing, when you do your ECA, when you do your tumor marker load, those and then there you can see that it's regressing.
Yeah,
It
that's
is
what
a good
I
process.
said. Now it's at a stable point. That's what I'm trying to say. It regressed. There
Yes,
was a mild regression when we did those ones, but now I'm currently on Avastin and Erotinin, of which it just
yeah,
stabilizes when I did the last test. So a
yeah.
stable tumor that isn't
If
coming
it's
down again.
yeah,
What would
if
be
yeah, if it is not yeah, if it is not progressing, with what happened, it might take a span of time before another step of regression will be observed. But if it has been arrested, it's this your prognosis is very good. If it has been arrested, you got what I mean?
yes, sir.
Do you understand?
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
So
Yes,
that
sir. Yes,
one
sir.
now, so that level that you are now, the rest now is what you now attack spiritually. This is where it now comes.
Okay.
So this is where in
Mm.
outcome, God has given you a sign that because even those drugs might be used, and then you discover that you are still wasting away, and then it's not even stable, it's still progressing, and then you have to be changing from one drug to the other. And that if that one can arrest it, key your faith into this now, and then from the information you are hearing today, your spirit too should be high to see how you can trust in that spiritual realm. Mine was at the terminal stage. It's like it cannot be. In fact, your case at times when we need radiotherapy, because it's that one might they will tell you is palliative. But my
Yes.
own didn't work like a palliative. It's like a cure because the way I key into the spiritual aspect of it. And then it's something you need to exercise mentally and then with utmost faith. It's not until when you go to a pastor to pray for you. This is something should be inborn within you to pray and see God yourself. And then you can even key
Yeah.
into that because you're going to be a connect. Like I've heard about your case now. Anytime of my prayer too, I'm going to put you into my prayer because I believe
Thank
that
you so
that grace that I experience is not just for me alone. If I come across to do, I'm in medical field, then it's not something I will now go and then to be making money. It's not like that. It's on a platform like this, something truthful. I pray, I connect to my God who has done it for me freely. That I have somebody who need to experience this gift too. And then I will put the one in the place. And then just believe that somebody is praying for you too. And then pray for yourself and believe that God will do it. And that's just how to alleviate that fear of saying, is it true or not true? Live, walk with that faith. And then you try to forget it. At times, usually, if can you have you experienced something before that you have a pain and then you've taken the drug and the pain has disappeared. You don't even know when the pain goes. But when you now think that, is it true that this pain has gone? Then you started experiencing the pain.
Yes.
Live as if the pain has gone. Live as if this thing you have experienced the healing. Then you live your life on that. And then it's not a time now to be wearing and talking to somebody who's telling you, you have this. How was it be? Everybody want to be checking on you. How are you feeling? How are you doing this? You let them know. Look at me today. Some people were scared for a very long time when they didn't hear from me. They couldn't call my number because they didn't know what happened. They were trying to find about me from other sources. Is this man still there? Is still this? So somebody said, I heard that you've gone to conduct an examination somewhere. You say, wow. When he heard, he was just praising God. Because somebody can travel from here to Abuja to go and conduct an examination. That means that person must be perfectly okay. So those are the kind of news that will be coming around. Don't let people talk down on you. Then yourself, just make sure, even your nutrition, before you eat, the water you drink, pray over it to give you healing. Total healing. Your water alone can do it. The water you drink ordinarily. God
Thank you
bless
so
you.
much.
Yeah, yeah,
God bless you so much. Thank you so much, Doctor, for sharing.
yeah.
This is mind blowing and also like a relief to some of us going through this journey. It's like you said, it's not easy, but we have to start with ourselves and then we believe that we've gotten healing with God's grace and then our faith as well. Thank you for sharing. And there are lots of hands up. And I'm also checking with our time. It will be good if we can share our questions in the chat so that we can capture everyone's question.
Yeah.
Having lots of people on mute to share their questions will take us a lot of time. But please, if you can share your questions in the chat, the doctor is here to also help us go through. Faith does more than we could tell. Just keep your faith with yourself. And then, Mr. Ranson, if you can unmute and share your question, please go ahead.
Okay, good evening. Thank you very much, Flora, and other audience or participant on this session this evening. Mine is not a question, but it's an addition to Dr. Ronald's response to, is it NECA question on how to deal with negative thoughts with a condition she is experiencing. Actually, Dr. Ronald cognition or recognition of his breaking the odds when he finds himself in this situation that was tumultuous and an unpleasant journey he embarked upon is leaning to the on the pillar of faith
Yeah.
which is basically what we refer to, and it comes from the aspect of spiritual therapy built around hope, faith, and belief. But then, because of individual variability, another person will never be Dr. Ronald, and Dr. Ronald will never be another person. So,
Sure.
what Dr. Ronald was able to overcome independently as a person, with the willpower, with all the strength, which is actually, that's how the other side of man is, the positive side of man, which we most often talk about, positive psychology, perseverance, hope, resilience, and the rest of it. But nigga, for others, the ocean of emotions another person may find his or herself in is often tumultuous, just as that of Ronald. But then, in this case, and in your own case, you cannot do it yourself because others may need a hand to get them out of where they are. So, you may need a professional assistant to deal with your thought, because very often when we are afflicted with such a condition, most of the time our thoughts, our perception are beclouded with bleak hope.
Yeah.
We hardly see any ray of hope that, oh, this is where I'm going to grab my hands on and then sustain myself and see how well you can break off it. So in this case, you may be striving, but the moment you take a step to come forward, you see yourself like you are in a world and you are trying to step out yourself to come out. But all of a sudden, as you step out, you see that going out there is still far away, and then that fear comes down upon you, and then you go down again. So what you need is a professional assistant, someone who can be there to give you that helping hand to pull you out of the negative state that has been surrounded with in this condition. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Dr.
Thank you so
Martin.
much, my brother. That is a wonderful one. Thank you.
There
Ineka, I'm
was
with you. I'm with you. It's good that I've got to know about this. You will start see changes from now. I'll put into
yeah.
prayer from now. And then believe that people are there and behind you, but most especially just lift up your spirit and go above the pain that you are feeling. God bless you.
Okay, so Neka is there to ask her questions. Her hand is still up. Neka, do you want to unmute now and ask your question or share? Can you unmute now? Click the unmute button and you could share. Neka, can you hear us? Or you can type in the chat, please. You can type in the chat. And Dr. Ronald is also trying to respond to Ladi Umesi concerning her pains and heaviness. I also think, yes, you take on the drugs, but you also need to imbibe some exercises as well.
Hello.
That little exercises that will help with the muscles to expand. Okay, Neka, you can now speak. Thank you.
Thank you. Good evening, ma. Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Yes.
I heard everything. I've been listening. My case is similar as Mr. Ronald's case, because they say I am in the final stage. This is the final stage. Even when I go to the hospital, they will be like, the doctors are giving up, but I always tell them I will not die. That I'm not going to die. That I'm going to live and fulfill the works of the Lord in the land of the living. So they will just try and be trying to pull me down, but I don't agree to it. And I've been coming out strong. And I'm in fact, I'm just a living testimony at this point. Even to a point, the thing spread to my legs that my hip got broken.
Mm.
I'm in my first stage of chemo now. I'm doing my chemo. I think the last one is next week. But the doctor has given me recommendation to go and fix my hip. So I'm about to go and do my hip. And where I am now in Edo State, they say there's no way I can do it here. except I go to Lagos or Enugu to go and do the hip. So that's why I'm calling to be enlightened on what to do, to be enlightened on what to do. Because even it's, as they say, is a breast cancer at the final stage, breast cancer of a metastasis. Metastasis. I don't know if I pronounce it well. Metastasis.
Metastasis.
Yes.
Metastasis.
Fantastic.
Yes, yes, yes. So
Um,
Thank you so
uh,
Thank
were
you,
you
Doctor.
on tamoxifen, or what were you given?
they are not giving me anyone.
So what did they place you on any drug?
No, no drug. I'm just on pure chemo, just ordinary chemo now.
Wow. Okay. Just like you said, your faith has healed you, and then you are an encouragement to me too, the way you have spoken. And then that means the same God that is working on my side is there for everybody who access Him as well.
Yes,
We thank God for
yes,
that
yes,
testimony. So
yes.
when we
Because
share a program like this, that's why we have to give it to the founder of this initiative. What you are doing is a missionary work on its own, and then indirectly you bring healing to a lot of people effortlessly. I know it is not
yes,
easy to organize something like this, but it's another crusade, which I believe to go a long way, especially in our environment. Many people are
yes,
dying in silence. Many people, once you just heard that this happened, then they take it to the other side. They don't see any hope
yes,
anymore. But the hope
yes.
is more, is more, you know.
It's more.
Thank you so
It's
much,
more.
the founder of this initiative. So I'm happy to be here. So let's continue
Thank
with more people, maybe because of
you for our
time,
time.
and then,
Yeah.
yes.
Thank you. Thank you. So for NECA, maybe we could just talk later to see
Okay.
how we can support you and see what the hip is like. Just as you said, we can rally around ourselves and support one another, hold our hands together to see how we can come about um, the hip issue. We are here for everyone. So after the call, I'm going
Okay.
to reach out directly to you, and so let's see what we can do. You
Thank
can
you, ma'am.
also share your number with Victor in the chat so that we can reach out to you to say, okay, where can we just like help hold your hands, hold your faith, and then we'll see what we can do together. Thank you so much for sharing.
Thank you,
That
ma'am.
really mind blowing. Okay, so doctor, there is a question in the chat concerning your diet. All through the process of getting into your treatments, what has changed with your diet, and even after treatments, what are those things you're eating and those things you're not eating now? That will also help people to start thinking about diet. And are you going through any exercises? What has been your lifestyle changing during treatment and afterwards?
Okay. Especially during the treatment, especially during the period that we are trying to ameliorate pains, um, something struck my mind, maybe because of my exposure. I know the analgesics that I'm taking. Ordinarily, if you take ordinary analgesics, even fancy paracetamol, in excessive dose, on their own, they can cause what you call ulceration of the GIT. They can cause ulcer. So for me to be on high super dose of analgesics, out of instincts, I just decided to take palm oil, ordinary palm oil. And then at a point when when I knew I was taking those high analgesics without eating, so I just felt that let me see what can I do to increase the protective layer for the GIT especially. So I was taking palm oil, maybe like a 2 spoon very early, 2 spoon in the night, and at times I wake up in the night to take 3 spoons. So that was what I was doing around that time. Then the diet, especially during the chemotherapy too, during the radiotherapy, I know the norm as the the challenge most of the time in the scientific cancer treatment. The challenge is how do you keep the patient alive, because the drug you are given, they are killer cells. So as they are killing the bad cells, they are equally injuring the normal cells. So that has been the battle. And then along that line, then I know that uh, one thing is that the chemotherapy and radiotherapy, we work faster to destroy the cancerous cell because they are replicating in a very fast way. So it could target the cycle of the cancer cell. So the cancer cell will have the impact, but nevertheless, the normal cells too will going to suffer a little. Then if we have to really enhance what can support these normal cells to withstand the trauma from our treatment. And one of the best things that we do that normally assist is to take all those diet that are very rich as antioxidants, like tomatoes, berry, smoothies of different fruits. Uh, will assist so much. And do that, then vegetables, then seafoods, and then vegetables and fruits of different smoothie. You can just take the food smoothie, let it fill you, maybe late in the evening or very early in the morning. Then eat your normal food if the appetite is there. But I think fruits that are rich in antioxidants are very, very good to someone going through this type of treatment, like not pineapple, not oranges, but something like tomatoes, cucumber, um, lettuce, uh, carrots, uh, are very, very wonderful. And then there are some remedies that people have talked about that really work, like the juice from the onions. If
Mm.
you make extract of juice from onions, you can take it periodically. Then there is little information about the spring onions to the grill. You can blend it and then take them. Those are the kind of things that I believe that I do take. Then in terms of exercise too, the should not be a very rigorous one. It should be a very gentle one, so that you don't get injured in the process. Then you have to listen to your body as well. I remember I think after a year of my treatment, we came back to Meseru to do 5 kilometer walk from, I was able to complete it. Some people are even entering cars, but I was able to complete. But you go at your pace. You are not running. Okay. So those are the kind of things that you do. Listen to your system. When you embark on a exercise and you know that you are feeling it's becoming too much for you, it's better you relax. If you do it gradually, make it consistent. Those are the kind of exercise that you do. Then, if you have a gym around you, go to a physiotherapist, let them know the type of what you are taking so that you have a specific exercise that you can do. But don't just overwork like somebody normally the cancer test too, they do affect the bones. So most of the time you should be careful the way you climb staircase, the way you walk. You have to do them gently. So that is just some of those things that I've been going through and that I've been observing up to now. Then water. I take water lavishly. I take water lavishly. Lavishly. A lot of
Thank you.
water. God bless you.
Thank you so much for sharing. This has been so informative, and we are um some minutes away to round off. And Ladi, your hand is still up. Do you want to share something or a question? Please go ahead.
Okay, that's Ladi.
Ladi, Chinyere, do you want to share? You can unmute yourself. You're on mute.
Unmute yourself.
Mute yourself.
Chinere, unmute
Mute.
yourself.
Click on the button. That's the speaker
Like a
button.
microphone.
The microphone. Click on it and you can speak. We can't hear you.
We can't hear you. You didn't unmute yourself, Chinere.
Okay, Ladi is speaking. Ladi, go ahead.
This is Ladi, sorry.
Ladi, go
Okay.
ahead.
It's affecting my voice. I can't talk well. The pains is too much, and I can hardly walk around because the heaviness, is affecting my joints and my back. I can't stand for too long. That's my problem.
So sorry.
No,
So
well,
sorry.
if that one is happening, were you giving any painkiller at all?
They gave me cocodamol.
Okay.
But the doctor said I shouldn't be taking it always so that it do not get so used.
Yeah.
Yes. So
So,
what will happen is that if you are taking it now, if you are taking it, whenever you take it, make sure you take some. Just like I tell you, out of instincts, take some palm oil with it. Take palm oil in the morning and in the night and everything. So you can take those energetics. Then another way, I know because I've gone through that pain. The pain can be excruciating. It can be terrible. So. Yeah. So, which area is affecting you? Is it in the breast or where?
both the breast, then my back,
Both the breast
but the joint is
and your back.
and my back. Yes. Then
You've done the grading of the diagnosis. What
I
was the stage of the
I only
diagnosis?
did I only did my complete my I did 6,
Okay.
but
Wow. Okay, I can understand. When did you complete your chemo?
I completed in December 23rd.
Okay, so it's not up to 2, 3 months. So what
No,
happened is
no, no.
that
It's more
those
than 22, 2022.
2022. So over 1 year.
2022, that's when you completed your chemo.
Yes, sir. And I was supposed to go for physiotherapy immediately, but I couldn't really afford it. We were waiting for,
Oh,
and then the my my chest, everything. I got so swollen. I had to go to hospital. I was admitted. So the cardio people started treating me. And I'm still on those cardio drugs up till now. Within
okay.
pains and the mass is too much.
So one thing that I'm going to do now, Lady Messi, we're going to get your phone call through the founder of this initiative. We're going to get some of your phone number. Some of it we attend to it spiritually. That is just one assurance I can give to you. The
Okay,
healing will
sir.
come by God's grace. And then we
Amen.
share from the anointing that I've enjoyed. And then we have it. Some other people are giving testimony here. So, and then I want you to key into that faith as well. Forget about this drug
Yes.
that you have used. You have done what the science can do. So let us see what the God can do. Let us journey now in God's under the cloud of glory, and then I'm sure the healing will come. That is just the assurance. You just believe that. Just like I used to say that, no, Lord, I'm not going to die of this illness. I'm going to be alive. I know you can heal me. I shout on God, especially when the pain was much. I will ask them,
Yeah.
please come and kill this pain. The pain will not go. Then I will just tell God, Lord, I know you can heal me. I don't want to die. I will not die. Just let that one be your slogan from now. Okay? And then you will see the result. God bless you, my sister.
God bless you, sir. Thank you. God bless you.
Thank you so much. This is like we are joining our hands and our minds and our hearts with everyone here going through one pain or the other. Our God is an awesome God. I remember the time when I had to speak with Dr. Ronald, and he would tell me that at the time he would just carry himself to church, to the Blessed Sacrament, and lay there without saying anything. Just, God, do whatever you want to do. Just that faith that there is someone superior who is going to help and take care of all the pain. So we are going to reach out to you, Lati, and just pray. And if we have a little support, we can also help with. We are here as one family to help one another. Thank you so much. And I think we are about the time, but then we we have some.
Chinyere,
Chinyere wants
and
to say something. Chinyere, please go ahead.
Yes, thank you so much for this opportunity. Okay, so I'm here on behalf of my husband who was diagnosed of gastric cancer. So he has done the surgery, the first surgery, and have done 8 chemotherapy. Unfortunately, the cancer came back to the because he did partial gastrectomy. At that point, he wasn't eating, he was going through chemotherapy, he wasn't eating. So I believe the chemotherapy even helped in, making the situation worse and everything. At that point, he wasn't eating. Okay, now we are back to, he has done another surgery now, total gastrectomy. There's no stomach anymore. And now they are saying he has to go through another chemotherapy. Now, what I'm asking is this, sir, mentioned the fact that when you were going through chemotherapy, that you were taking fruits rich in antioxidants like lettuce, carrot, onion juice, spring onion,
tomato,
and all that.
tomato.
Okay, now, peradventure, if you finally agree on going on chemotherapy, which we're still thinking of. We've not made up our mind that he's going through that chemotherapy again. How is he going to be able to absorb all of this into his system, being that he doesn't have a stomach anymore?
Wow. Um, I know the only thing is that the what happened is that even from our mouth, just keeping fluid in our mouth alone
Wow.
for a very long time, through that process to some of these things, vitamins is absorbed into our system.
Mm.
The mouth is part of the digestive system as well. And then most of the food that we eat, the whole thing is not, it's not that it's going through another set of digestion. The absorption starts from the mouth down. So most of the time now at this level, he must be able to take those smoothie, just put it in his mouth as long as he can hold it.
Mm.
So after taking it, he can pour it off, take a fresh one, then, but the only thing that you have to do it frequently because the rate at which he has no way to store a lot in the body. So he just put it in the mouth, maybe like a teaspoon. You will see that that one can disappear easily. So
Okay.
from there, little can be getting into the system from the vitamins we needed from those smoothie. So just keep the
Mm.
smoothie fresh and then not too long. If you are not going to take it, keep it in the refrigerator. Then put it
Okay.
in inside a spoon that it can be taken. If you put the spoon, a teaspoon in your mouth, it's going to
Yeah.
disappear. Generally,
Mm.
maybe you either it's like you swallow it or whatever, and everything is goes. At least it's swallowing the saliva.
Mm.
Yeah. So the only thing might not be able to gap it. It might not be able to gulp it now.
Mm.
So and then what we needed, we still get still
No,
from
he
that.
tolerates liquid now. Can
Yeah.
actually take
And so
yes liquid.
wonderful, wonderful.
No, but not in large
Yeah, it's not
quantity.
going to be in large quantity, but it's in
Mm.
frequency. It's not going to
Okay.
fill you up when you take it little by
Okay.
little. That's what I mean.
Okay.
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 It's not going to take it in a way that will fill up. That was I'm saying that what I'm telling you, you can still make use of that.
Well, my second question, sir, is that must he go through another round of chemotherapy? Are there
Well,
no
you
alternatives?
know, number one, he has done one before, and then
Yes,
the cancer came back.
yes. He didn't work. Because he came back immediately, almost immediately.
Almost immediately. Because what happened is that maybe the margin of observation of what they did initially was not clearly, it was not a clean cut. I don't know if they carry out a margins of recession on the one they did initially. Because, but even if they have used chemotherapy before and then they've done another surgery now,
Mm,
um, the you are now scared of going back for another chemotherapy, right?
yes, yes, absolutely.
Okay, what I would say is that so far they've just done a fresh one. Let us key into faith. Let him go for the second round of chemotherapy. And then we now key into faith along with that treatment. So we're going to get a good result this time around. Because what happened
Okay.
is that the science is one and our faith is one.
Yes.
Now, so I don't want us to say that, no, abandon this. But most of the things that we do, we support it with our faith. Then you especially now, you are the one, you are the mirror of what you're looking at. The way you even handle this thing will bring about much healing. Just like I gave the reason with my wife. There was never a time she was doubting. I saw her radiant all the time when
Mm,
it's around me. Though at times he used to confess to me that when he leave me, he might go and cry at the back. But when he's coming to me, he makes sure that he carry a radiant face. So you
mm,
are not even presenting because he might not even see himself. You are the one that is seeing and he trusts so much in you. So the
mm,
way you do things around that will bring a lot of healing. Your spirit too should affect him spiritually. Okay? Like the spirit of this group now will be working with any one of us that is in this group, in this journey with us. So we are going to key into it. And then, just like we said, we are survivors, we are warriors. So we turn into spiritual warriors against cancer. That's what we
mm,
are doing. Warriors against cancer. Wherever we are, cancer is no longer, it's not going to overcome us. Or anybody that come across us, cancer is not going to overcome that person. That is our crusade now. That is what the founder of this nation is, I think, is preaching. So you benefit from that. Please, the way you attend to him, don't look at his situation and making it you squeezing your face and then you, what am I going to do now? This and that. Let him go for that chemotherapy and we get the result from it. Okay?
thank you, sir.
God bless you, my sister.
Thank you.
Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much,
And
everyone. Thank you so much,
Okay.
and thank you so much, Dr. Ronald. We are
Yes.
7 minutes past our time, and I'm glad that we had this conversation. Please, we are here. If you have any further questions to ask, you can share in our social media platform. It has been posted in the WhatsApp in the chat box. Please share, join us or ask your questions there. We would come back to the doctor to see to share with him. He can help us with some of the answer. And just for to close us up, I just want to read what Ransom shared in the chats for everybody. He says, dealing with cancer at any stage to live and enjoy good quality of life demands on the person to draw from the resources of spiritual will, harnessing the inner traits encased in hope, courage, resilience, perseverance, and social support network, creating family like Dr. Donald spoke of his wife, as well as seeking professional help, clinical psychologists to arrest the tide of emotional waves, winning the mental energy. There are lots of things going through our minds every time. So please have a good network of people who are telling you that you are well, not the people who are just checking on you to check to ask, are you still breathing, or to ask you to share your will. Please surround yourself with people who would say that you are well, nothing is wrong with you, and as you are praying, they are supporting you emotionally. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining. We usually
And,
have Thursdays, second and third Thursdays of the month. Thank you so much, Dr. Ronald. I'm super grateful. And you know, I will always call on you. This is our apostolate. We just want to share good news about cancer warriors and survivors.
and, and excuse me, excuse me.
Thank
Sorry, before we go,
Okay.
there is something that I think I was reserving.
Okay.
Uh, we share this faith. We share this faith. How do we demonstrate it? I will tell
Okay.
you something. Um, though in the Catholic Church, we are not the type that we don't preach individuals, but we preach what God does. I will tell you there is something we call the Blessed Sacrament in the Catholic Church. It's a place where you can go all alone. It doesn't mean if you're a Catholic or not. If you just share from what I've experienced, during that time, I had a personal encounter with the power of God before the Blessed Sacrament. I feel a touch because I prostrated in that place alone, not that I call on any priest. I didn't call on anybody. I went there alone to seek the face of God. And then I believe God touched me.
Mm.
And that is just my testimony before the Blessed Sacrament. And I asked for healing and I got it. If you are not even a Catholic, just ask for, please, where can I get, where is, what do you mean by Blessed Sacrament? You can go there alone. You might go to your own church any day, anytime. Just the place is always open in any Catholic center. You go there and pray when nobody is around, and then you ask for your what you want. If nobody is going to lay hands on you, nobody is going to give you. You can go there with your water if you believe you want to use water, and then you can come in on your own. You can go with your Bible, read verses that structure your mind as God touches your heart, and then the healing will come. So far, I've had this message today. I'm going to take it back before God and I'm presenting it to God. And then I believe we are going to have more testimony. God bless you all. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Doctor. Thank you so much. This is our faith. This is our testimony. It boils down to all of us to like tap into this faith as we pray with one another. We also reach out to see how we can support one another. Thank you, everyone, for joining. We have another guest coming next week to also share with us around palliative care. What does it mean, and how can we continue to envision our healing? I wish us all well. Have good evening, everyone, and enjoy the rest of the day. I'll reach out to a few people who we need to like hold hands and see what we can do to support them. Thank you, everyone. And if you want to join our apostolates, just we are about to start our postulates going to churches to talk about cancer. There is nothing to hide about cancer. We want to talk about it, just like malaria is being talked about. We want to talk about it so that the fear will leave people and they seek medical and spiritual care. So we want to start going about to church to talk about cancer. Please, if you can join us, just to share your stories of healing, of triumph. And that's what we want to do so that people who are hiding will come out of their hiding place. That's what we are doing. Thank you, everyone, for
Thank
today's
you.
call, and I wish you well. Good night.
Bye.
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 Bye, everyone. Bye, everyone. Good night. Thank you so much, Dr. Ronald. I appreciate. Bye, everyone. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And keep joining us and we keep learning together. God bless you. Thank you.